The hip-hop world is shaking, and today, the truth comes out like never before. The Game, one of the most controversial figures in modern hip-hop, has long been known for making bold claims, throwing shots, and stirring drama across the culture. But this time, he's facing the ultimate reckoning. Hip-hop legends like 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z, icons who have shaped the genre, are stepping forward to call out the lies, exposing the reality behind the headlines. Fans are left questioning everything they thought they knew about the game. From shocking stories of past beefs to insider secrets that the public has never heard, these legendary voices are dismantling his claims piece by piece. You won't believe the moments captured, the reactions from other major figures in the industry, and the behind-the-scenes truths that have finally come to light. This isn't just another rap beef, it's a historic moment where legends set the record straight, reminding everyone why their influence commands respect. Every reaction, every statement, and every revelation is more shocking than the last. Whether you're a die-hard hip-hop fan or just curious about the drama that fuels the culture, this video is a must-watch. Prepare for jaw-dropping truths, viral moments, and a side of hip-hop the mainstream rarely shows. By the end, you'll understand exactly why these legends had to speak up and why the game's narrative is officially being challenged in a way that fans will never forget. From the moment the first clip started circulating online, fans knew this was going to be a major turning point. The Game had always been a polarizing figure, someone who commanded attention but also stirred controversy wherever he went. His claims, whether about rivalries, industry insiders, or supposed betrayals, often made headlines, but this time, the stakes were higher. When legends like 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z decided to publicly respond, the conversation shifted entirely. The Game was no longer the only voice in the room. He was now facing the scrutiny and reactions of the very people who had defined the culture itself. 50 Cent, known for his bluntness and strategic approach to drama, didn't hold back. His comments, captured on live footage and social media clips, dissected the Game's statements with precision. Every exaggeration, every misrepresentation, was met with a calm yet authoritative response, showing that experience and respect in the industry carry weight that younger artists or commentators cannot replicate. Fans watching online were quick to notice the contrast. Where the Game relied on bold declarations and shock value, 50 Cent focused on facts, credibility, and influence. The balance of power in the conversation was immediately clear. Eminem, who rarely comments publicly on other rappers' disputes unless it hits a certain threshold, also stepped in. His perspective added another layer of scrutiny. Known for his lyrical genius and attention to detail, Eminem's reactions didn't just critique the Game's claims, they dissected the storytelling, the timeline, and the inconsistencies in ways that left fans reevaluating everything they thought they knew. Eminem's involvement gave the drama a new dimension. It wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a lesson in credibility, legacy, and the fine line between reputation and rumor in hip-hop. Jay-Z's take was perhaps the most strategic. Unlike the others, Jay-Z didn't rush into a direct confrontation. Instead, his commentary emphasized the broader context of the Game's claims and the importance of integrity in the industry. Every statement he made, whether in interviews, social media clips, or collaborative discussions with peers, carried weight because of his unparalleled status. Jay-Z's approach reminded fans that influence in hip-hop isn't just about chart-topping records or viral moments. It's about legacy, business acumen, and the respect you command over decades. As these reactions spread online, fan discussions exploded. Social media feeds were flooded with reaction videos, memes, and debate threads. Some fans were shocked at how the Game's narrative unraveled under scrutiny. Others were captivated by the unity displayed by these hip-hop legends. The incident became a cultural moment, not just a viral story. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter amplified every clip, comment, and breakdown, turning the drama into a multi-layered discussion about credibility, loyalty, and the responsibilities of public figures in music. The details behind each claim started emerging as well. Sources familiar with past incidents, studio sessions, and public appearances began sharing insights that added context. Every claim the game had made was dissected, and the legend's responses were backed by evidence, timing, and lived experience. It wasn't just hearsay anymore, it became a lesson in how history, facts, and reputation collide in the world of hip-hop. Fans were particularly interested in the dynamic between 50 Cent and Eminem. Their camaraderie and mutual respect shone through their reactions. Together, they presented a united front that contrasted sharply with the game's approach. Where the game often thrived on division and sensationalism, 50 Cent and Eminem focused on clarity and accountability. This distinction resonated with longtime fans of the genre, who recognized the weight that veteran voices carry when confronting misinformation. Jay-Z's contribution, though less confrontational, had a subtle but powerful effect. His commentary reframed the situation from being a mere feud to being a teachable moment for younger artists and fans alike. He emphasized the importance of understanding the consequences of public statements, the impact of social media amplification, and the long-term ramifications of misinformation. By doing so, Jay-Z elevated the conversation beyond entertainment, giving it a cultural and educational layer that added depth to the unfolding story. The reactions weren't limited to just commentary. Behind the scenes, industry insiders were weighing in on potential consequences for the game. Collaborations, label dynamics, and even media appearances were being reassessed. The ripple effect extended beyond this single controversy, showing how one figure's claims could influence multiple facets of the industry when challenged by legends. Meanwhile, fan engagement skyrocketed. Comment sections filled with heated debates, memes, and discussions dissecting every clip. Some fans applauded the legends for holding the game accountable, while others debated whether the scrutiny was too harsh. Regardless of opinion, the discussion drove viewership, engagement, and a renewed interest in the personalities involved. It became clear that the combination of credibility, star power, and timing was key to turning this story into a viral phenomenon. As the hours turned into days, every new clip or reaction added another layer of intrigue. Previously unknown moments, studio anecdotes, and historical context were brought into the light, giving fans a full picture of the situation. The conversation had evolved from a simple viral video into a multi-dimensional discussion on culture, history, and authenticity in hip-hop. Ultimately, this part of the story emphasized one thing above all. In hip-hop, credibility is everything. The game's bold claims met their match when confronted by the voices who had shaped the industry. It wasn't about winning or losing a debate. It was about legacy, accountability, and the power of experience. And as fans tuned in from around the world, they realized they were witnessing a defining moment in hip-hop history, one that would be dissected, analyzed, and remembered for years to come. As the dust settled from the initial wave of reactions, it became clear that this controversy wasn't fading anytime soon. Fans continued dissecting every clip, replaying interviews, and comparing past statements to understand exactly what had gone wrong. The game had built his reputation on boldness and unpredictability, but facing scrutiny from figures like 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z highlighted the gap between hype and credibility. Every misstep was amplified, every exaggeration questioned, and every past claim revisited. This was more than just entertainment. It was a lesson in accountability for artists and the culture at large. Online forums and social media platforms exploded with debate. Fans compiled clips side by side, pointing out inconsistencies and moments where the game's narrative didn't align with reality. Reaction videos flooded YouTube, with creators analyzing everything from facial expressions to vocal tone, highlighting the subtext behind the legend's statements. Each reaction reinforced the influence of these veterans. Their opinions carried weight far beyond the usual social media chatter. The game's credibility, once unquestioned by some younger fans, was now under serious scrutiny. Meanwhile, the legends themselves continued to weigh in subtly but powerfully. 50 Cent, never one to hold back, addressed specific claims with precision. He broke down timelines, referenced studio sessions, and highlighted historical context that the game either ignored or misrepresented. Every point he made demonstrated that experience in the industry isn't just about having hits. It's about understanding the culture, the dynamics, and the reputations that define it. For viewers, this was a masterclass in how veterans handle public disputes, and it left many fans reflecting on the importance of facts over sensationalism. Eminem's involvement brought a unique layer of critique. Known for his meticulous attention to detail, he addressed both lyrical content and narrative construction. Fans noticed that his responses weren't just opinions, they were analytical breakdowns that showcased how statements in the hip-hop world are scrutinized for authenticity. Eminem's approach highlighted the importance of consistency in messaging. When an artist makes bold claims, they must be prepared to defend them against scrutiny. This lesson resonated strongly with viewers who had followed the game for years, reminding them that legacy in hip-hop is earned through credibility as much as through music. Jay-Z, as always, played a different role. His commentary was measured, strategic, and almost educational. He didn't attack directly but framed the situation as a broader cultural discussion. By doing this, he elevated the narrative beyond a single feud, making it about responsibility, authenticity, and respect for the craft. Jay-Z's perspective resonated with fans who admired his decades-long career and deep understanding of the music business. His voice reminded viewers that hip-hop is as much about influence and leadership as it is about lyrics and performance. As the story unfolded, more figures began weighing in, either through interviews or social media. Lesser-known industry veterans, collaborators, and insiders added nuance to the situation, clarifying points of contention and giving fans a deeper understanding of the stakes involved. Each new perspective added complexity to the drama, showing that what started as a simple online controversy had become a multi-layered cultural moment. Fans were particularly engaged with the idea of historical context. Many dug into past interviews, tracks, and collaborations, trying to piece together a timeline of events that the game had referenced or distorted. This created a wave of content in itself: reaction channels, discussion forums, and even TikTok clips dedicated to dissecting every claim. Engagement skyrocketed as fans shared opinions, debated the validity of statements, and discussed which legend had made the most convincing points. This level of participation turned the controversy into a viral phenomenon, extending far beyond the typical hip-hop audience. Meanwhile, the game's responses, or lack thereof, added fuel to the fire. Some fans felt he missed opportunities to clarify, apologize, or provide evidence to support his claims. Others speculated on whether he was intentionally keeping quiet to let the drama build or to craft a narrative that would eventually favor him. Regardless, the absence of a strong rebuttal allowed the legend's statements to dominate the conversation, further undermining the game's credibility. The impact of this controversy reached far beyond just fans and social media. Industry insiders began discussing potential ramifications for collaborations, label negotiations, and public appearances. Every reaction, statement, or clarification had the potential to influence partnerships, sponsorships, and brand relationships. The situation illustrated how public perception and credibility are integral to an artist's career longevity. It also reminded fans that behind-the-scenes decisions in hip-hop often have real-world consequences. As days went on, media outlets picked up the story, amplifying every reaction and statement. Clips from interviews were shared across YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, creating a feedback loop of content that kept viewers engaged. Fans dissected each moment, comparing reactions, analyzing tone, and debating the implications for hip-hop culture as a whole. The controversy had evolved from a simple dispute into a full-blown cultural event, demonstrating the power of celebrity voices and the global reach of social media. By the end of this phase of the drama, it became evident that the legend's involvement had reshaped the narrative. The game's statements were no longer taken at face value. They were analyzed, fact-checked, and contextualized. 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z had set a precedent for accountability, reminding everyone that influence comes with responsibility. Fans were left with a mixture of awe, shock, and respect for how these icons handled the situation, combining authority, credibility, and strategic communication in a way that only true legends can. This moment also sparked a broader discussion about the state of hip-hop today. Fans, creators, and commentators debated whether the genre still values authenticity and legacy over hype and sensationalism. The controversy highlighted the tension between younger artists who thrive on social media drama and established figures who prioritize credibility and reputation. It became clear that moments like these are not just about individual feuds, they are defining cultural touchpoints that influence the direction of the genre for years to come. Experience matters, credibility matters, and legacy matters even more. The game may have sparked the drama, but it was the legends' measured, authoritative, and factual responses that shaped the narrative. Fans around the world witnessed a demonstration of what it means to command respect in the culture, not just through music, but through integrity, influence, and thoughtful engagement. And as the debate continued online, one thing was clear: this story was far from over, and the lessons it offered would resonate across hip-hop for years to come. As the drama reached its peak, the fallout from this controversy became impossible to ignore. Fans had been watching every reaction, dissecting every statement, and debating who was right and who was wrong. What began as a viral moment had now become a full-blown cultural event, illustrating the immense influence of hip-hop legends and the power of credibility in the industry. The game's earlier claims, once bold and attention-grabbing, were now being scrutinized in ways he had likely never anticipated. Fan reactions continued pouring in from all corners of the internet. Comment sections on social media platforms were filled with detailed breakdowns, memes, and viral threads highlighting inconsistencies in the game's statements. Reaction videos comparing past interviews, lyrics, and studio sessions became some of the most watched content on YouTube. The game, who had thrived on controversy in the past, suddenly found himself on the defensive as legends like 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z systematically challenged his narrative. 50 Cent remained one of the most outspoken voices during this period. His commentary wasn't just reactive. It was precise, calculated, and rooted in decades of experience. By referencing past events, collaborations, and industry dynamics, he exposed every exaggeration or misrepresentation in the game's claims. Viewers quickly noticed the contrast. While the game relied on shock value and bold declarations, 50 Cent relied on facts, timing, and credibility. This not only reinforced 50 Cent's reputation, but also reminded fans why his voice carries weight in hip-hop culture. Eminem's participation added another layer of legitimacy and depth to the unfolding story. Known for his attention to detail and analytical approach, Eminem dissected both lyrical content and public statements. His critiques highlighted the importance of consistency, accuracy, and authenticity in hip-hop storytelling. Fans were captivated by the precision of his analysis, realizing that every claim made in the music industry is subject to scrutiny, not just for entertainment, but for the legacy and credibility of the artist. Eminem's involvement elevated the entire discussion, making it about integrity and respect for the craft rather than just viral drama. Jay-Z, as always, provided the most strategic perspective. Unlike the direct confrontations of 50 Cent or the analytical breakdown of Eminem, Jay-Z's commentary focused on cultural context and long-term consequences. By framing the situation as more than just a feud, he reminded fans that hip-hop is about influence, responsibility, and leadership. His insights encouraged younger artists to consider the ramifications of their public statements and underscored the importance of building a lasting legacy rather than chasing temporary attention. The ripple effect of this controversy extended beyond fans and commentators. Industry insiders, producers, and collaborators began reevaluating their associations with the game, considering whether involvement in his projects could impact their credibility. Partnerships, sponsorships, and label deals were discussed more cautiously, reflecting the real-world impact of public disputes in hip-hop. This illustrated a crucial point. In the modern music industry, public perception can have tangible consequences for an artist's career, regardless of talent or prior achievements. Throughout this period, fan engagement remained intense. Social media exploded with debates about who handled the situation best, with many praising the legends for holding the game accountable. Some fans argued that the scrutiny was too harsh, while others celebrated the lessons being taught about authenticity, credibility, and accountability. Reaction videos, discussion forums, and TikTok compilations amplified every angle, turning the drama into a multi-layered conversation that reached millions globally. Even as the game attempted to respond, his statements were met with skepticism. Fans questioned timing, tone, and credibility, further tipping the scales in favor of the legends. Every attempt to explain or defend past claims was analyzed and compared to evidence presented by 50 Cent, Eminem, and Jay-Z. The online discourse highlighted a critical lesson for artists. In an era where every word is recorded, scrutinized, and shared globally, credibility is a currency more valuable than hype. Beyond the immediate controversy, this moment sparked discussions about the evolving state of hip-hop culture. Many fans and commentators debated whether the genre still prioritizes authenticity and legacy over sensationalism and social media drama. The engagement demonstrated a clear appetite for content where experience, respect, and accountability are recognized, showing that legendary voices still shape the culture in ways younger artists cannot easily replicate. As the week progressed, media outlets across platforms covered every angle. Headlines dissected reactions, viral clips went global, and interviews with insiders added layers of context. The story transcended the usual rap beef narrative, becoming a case study in credibility, legacy, and the power of experience in hip-hop. Fans were not just entertained, they were educated on the nuances of reputation, influence, and the intricate dynamics of the music industry. Ultimately, the controversy concluded with a clear takeaway. In hip-hop, credibility is everything. The game's bold claims met their match when confronted by voices who had earned respect over decades. 50 Cent's factual precision, Eminem's analytical scrutiny, and Jay-Z's strategic framing reshaped the narrative, leaving fans with a powerful lesson in accountability and the long-term consequences of public statements. This saga also reinforced the importance of legacy in the music industry. The legends didn't just react, they taught, demonstrated, and reminded fans why their influence matters. Their involvement turned a viral controversy into a historic moment for hip-hop, showcasing how experience, integrity, and authority can shape narratives, challenge misinformation, and leave a lasting impact on culture. For fans, creators, and artists alike, this incident will be remembered as a defining example of how the intersection of celebrity, credibility, and culture can create moments that transcend entertainment. The game's claims may have sparked the initial drama, but it was the measured, authoritative responses of 50 Cent, Eminem, Jay-Z, and other legends that ensured this story would be remembered as a lesson in truth, legacy, and the power of hip-hop icons. By the time the dust settled, one thing was clear. In the world of hip-hop, legends don't just make music, they set the standards, uphold accountability, and remind everyone watching that respect is earned, not claimed. And as fans continue to debate, share, and analyze every clip, the influence of these legends will remain undeniable, proving that true authority in hip-hop is timeless.